some thought how to get, I don't know, your thoughts on a social schedule for this whole run thing. I mean, I don't want to inundate people, but I want to find the balance, I guess would be the right word.
Yeah, definitely. And so you're talking, what social media outlets are you using for it?
Well, when I get over the fear, which I've forced myself this week to get over the fear of people actually, whatever, seeing me and things, Facebook, Instagram, possibly Twitter, LinkedIn, and one of our nieces, she does some of the social media for Make-A-Wish Foundation here in Phoenix, and she's going to work with me on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok would probably be pretty amazing for what you're doing, especially if you're going visual. Yeah, I'm thinking David Goggins kind of stuff. Like, some, and the way to not inundate people is just to do a variety. And thanks for Ryan. Ryan's here. So, hey,
Ryan.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, guys.
Go variety, because like David Goggins, he usually has a lot of those clips where he's got an assistant that drives beside him and records while he's jogging. And I mean, as for a variety, that's kind of neat, because that could pick, it gets a lot of your non-runners. Because for me, I'm looking at David Goggins and I'm thinking, how's he talking while he's running?
Oh, I know.
And if you could do a 10, 15-second clip and then post it on all three platforms, I mean, because 15 seconds, that's perfect for TikTok. And it's a 15-second clip, and every one of them's different. They're not all the same. It's not all just Jeff saying, hey, I'm running across Kansas, support me. One of them, maybe once every couple of weeks, that's what it is. Of course, that information's in the description, though. But some of them are just, hey, I'm prepping for a big run. I'm putting in about 120 miles a week. Here's a good tip to not or to avoid shin splints, or whatever.
Yeah.
And the variety, though, I mean, you got that. Like, let's call that your running post.
Okay.
Then you could post some good visuals of just like Kansas countryside. Like, this is going to be my view for 500 miles, whatever the mileage is.
Right.
And stuff like that. And then maybe every third or fourth post, just do a pure fundraising post where it's like a picture of your thermometer where it's filling up with the fundraising money or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it could go pretty well. And just be sure that you put all your info, though, in the description every time, because that way, if people are interested, they can click through, but you're not inundating them too much.
Okay. Yeah. I appreciate that. That makes sense, because I definitely want to get that message out that, I am crazy enough to run across Kansas, but I'm doing it for, Alzheimer's, ALS, cancer, and boot campaigns. So
yeah,
they're the reasons I'm running across Kansas.
Yeah. I mean, you could even then post, I mean, like a picture of Lou Gehrig or something, and kind of like, here's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would get a lot of, I mean, for variety's sake, that would pull in maybe even some baseball folks. Like, everybody's heard of Lou Gehrig, and most people have heard of Lou Gehrig's disease, but don't really know what it is.
Right. And to be honest, I only know a little bit. I mean, even though, I lost an aunt to ALS, and ALS is my fraternity's national philanthropy. I mean, I just know it's a one-way ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get it, it's a downhill slide.
Jeff, tell me more about, I came in a couple minutes late, so give me the update. I assume I gather that you're running across Kansas for charity.
Right.
Where are you starting, and what route are you taking?
Okay. I'm starting.
Looking at a map right now just for fun here.
Okay. On I-70, Kenneredo, Kansas, the Colorado-Kansas border.
Okay. Yeah.
I grew up just in Burlington, Colorado, 13 miles. Okay. So my wife will say she's from Kansas. They'll say I grew up in Kansas, even though I didn't. I
Yeah.
went to school at Kansas State. So
Okay.
it's basically going to take Highway 24
Yep.
across. So it goes a little north
Yep.
of the interstate, but it's an old, I call it a frontage road.
Yeah. And when you
But
get
it's,
those, so you're obviously, I mean, you're here because you want to try to figure out how to maybe raise more support or awareness about what you're doing.
yeah, yeah.
And so I love David's ideas of posts on social media. Are you going to be stopping at small towns along the way, or are you going to kind of run through them?
Well, the overall plan, Ryan, is it's going to take about 9 weeks. I'm running 50 miles a week,
Okay.
5 days a week, 10 miles. So,
Okay.
and 2 rest days.
Okay.
There we go.
I'd be thinking about, wow, that's quite a, oh my goodness. So just some ideas that I would have is, are there already other influencers in those towns? Like you could probably search Instagram or TikTok or Facebook based on town and see if there's anybody you could connect with.
Okay.
Because that gives you access to their audience, bring them in to your journey somehow. When you stop at a town, meet with somebody. Go to a local restaurant that already is posting. They'll think it's cool that you stopped, like, that you stopped at their restaurant, and they'll post it on there. Now, I don't know how many people are going to like, oh, that's so cool, and I'm going to give to your cause because of that. But it just gives you another group of people to get the word out to, rather than just your social media. Now you're leveraging the restaurant's social media. Or if you meet with the mayor, maybe this town will post it on their social media. And I don't know, I would just try to leverage other people's accounts somehow. Are you doing this by yourself, or is this a coordinated effort that a lot of people are doing?
Well, as of now, I'm really the solo runner.
Okay.
I'll have a RV with a support group or whatever.
That's awesome.
I have a neighbor that'll ride with me a week. One of my
Oh, very
wife's
cool.
cousins will probably ride with me a week.
Okay. Okay.
One of my best friends in high school is going to ride with me a week.
Love it.
Family and
Okay.
friends.
Yeah. I'd be looking at, I mean, do those national organizations or the state organizations know that you're doing this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have fundraising pages set up on all
Perfect.
for
Have you talked to their social media people at all? Because they would probably post this for you. Because they're going to think this is cool, that, hey, there's some guy that's running across Kansas in support of ALS. And I imagine if I was a social media manager for ALS, either national or Kansas or both, that I'd be posting about this.
Yeah, well, with the ALS, the Live Like Blue Foundation is right out of my fraternity. So
Okay.
they've been fantastic. They're
Very
a
cool.
phenomenal support.
Okay.
The others, they're like, yeah, I don't know. They're kind of at an arm's length because they're saying they've said that once I stop, I mean, I'm ramping up to start posting,
Mhm.
that they'll repost and things like that. But
Perfect.
if they come out talking about me, people would perceive it as favoritism.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Support you and not the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think Ryan's comments are good, especially I followed the Iron Cowboy. You know who he is? He is, Jeff.
I do not.
He's a marathoner, triathloner. He did I think 100 Ironman distance triathlons in 100 days. So basically every day he was doing one in a different place. I mean, the documentary is cool because it shows the full breakdown of his body as he goes along. But he had a big support team. But what he did was, in every city where he did one, he had a crowd of people that did portions of it with him. And like Ryan was talking, I mean, shoot, man, if you could get a small town mayor just to maybe them and the local high school football team or something, just to run through town with you.
Yeah, make it like an event in every little town. I mean, as much as possible. That'll take some coordination, but I love that idea of being able to you almost have like a little parade is when you go into town, invite people to join you, even if it's just like 1 mile through that town and you're off to the next place.
Yeah. And these little towns, I mean, some of them are like my little town in Liberty. If you organize something like that here and got in with the chamber, they would do it all for you. You just say when
Yes.
you're going to show up, and you're not actually doing all the extra work. The little town just wants the publicity, so they're organizing it.
Yeah, and call the local newspapers. Make sure every little local newspaper you're going through knows that you're coming through town, because they'll probably take a picture. I mean, they're looking for stuff like that to post.
Okay.
I'd probably find a volunteer that could be almost like your PR person. Did you mentioned you said you have a relative that does the social media for Make-A-Wish?
Yeah, she does.
Somebody like that could potentially be your PR person that could like look at your route and look at the newspapers along the way, and you'll contact them and say, hey, my is it your was it your niece you said, or?
Yeah, it's my wife's niece.
Okay, so
We
like my
call her,
niece is
she's a
good.
cousin, but
Okay. Or just
those.
find anybody that cares. That could just even be a friend that cares about this as much as you do, and could just do some of that legwork for you and make some of those contacts in those towns.
Okay.
Really play it up.
Now, Jeff, have you thought about ways to monetize this for you? I mean, I know it's for a charity, but what I'm thinking is the stuff you're doing, if you could use it later, like your workout program.
Yeah, what I kind of have in the back of my mind is like a t-shirt, a fundraising, and we'll branch it out like either a silhouette or a just the black, I'm trying to say of each state with a runner in it, and across the top it says I run this. Like I run the state of Texas for you, Ryan. I run
Yeah.
I run Georgia or Alabama for Holly. Is it Georgia or Alabama, Holly?
Georgia.
Okay, I thought so. So yeah, that was and have all of the proceeds go towards the different charities at up through whatever, let's just say September.
Yeah.
Just a time frame, and then I'd roll that over into me using it maybe for my own, maybe for whatever other things to do good in the world.
Oh yeah. And I just checked Amazon. I just searched Run Across Kansas just to see, but right away I'm thinking a Kindle book. I mean, Kindle, paperback, hardback, they're easy to do all three, but if it was like just your workout and pictures of you doing it, maybe a journal, that kind of thing, and you could publish that as a book, and that's up on Amazon. And Run Across Kansas, and there you go. And if you do other states, you could do a series.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you could easily just chronicle your workout progress that you've done getting ready. Stuff like this call, like, how to raise support, that kind of thing, 10 pages of blank workout schedules and lots of photos of you running, of you in towns, of you, eating a stack of pancakes this tall just to fuel up. And I mean, there's a book right there for you that you could publish.
Okay.
That's so cool.
Ryan, Jeff's wife is sitting right beside him. She's listening to.
Okay, awesome.
We finally get to meet Mrs. Lister.
That and my guard dogs, a Chihuahua and a Chorky.
And they are.
Oh yeah. Big dogs trapped in little bodies.
Some pretty good ideas there for you, Joe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I appreciate it. That's, Travis has come with the deal about doing like a running coaching program, and I'm not against it, but I don't know, that's a whole different work world, and I hate to, well, that doesn't mean I can't do it, but I mean, endurance coaches are a dime a dozen. So build up any kind of a monetization there.
Yeah.
To me,
Well, one of the
there's a lot-
groups I'm in, the guy focuses on hyper niching. Ryan, it's in Vincent's group that I'm in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Jeff, how old are you?
62.
See, there you go. There's easy to niche it down. Endurance coaching for post 60-year-old athletes. Because I mean, like me, I just hit 49 a week ago, and when I look at workouts, I'm looking at like 50-year-old workouts. Like, how do I get back into my 30-year-old shape as a 50-year-old? That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yes. So, you know, and plus, the more you niche it down, usually the more you can charge.
Yeah.
You're 63.
Oh, I have Gary Hart syndrome. My wife told me I'm 63, which I guess is right.
She's much younger than you. That's why she's got the memory.
Yeah. And that was for your benefit, Ryan. I'm sure you old enough to remember Gary Hart. Or
Yes.
the political part. He
Of
always
course.
age was never what it really was.
Right. Yep.
What about you, Holly? You got any ideas or
Yeah.
something you want to work on?
I was here to get inspiration, to be honest with you.
That's why I like this kind of stuff. Because
I have two full-time jobs, I guess.
only two. Y'all remember the old Living Color bit?
I need another job to fund one of them. So I just came for inspiration and see what you guys had to say. And
Yeah.
Actually, I was interested in what your plans are as well for your haunted homestead.
Yeah. Well, the HipCamp, we've decided to go ahead and go forward with it. Me and my wife sat down and looked at all the costs. It's going to cost us about $1,500 to do all the changes, buy what we need, because you have to have a toilet, that kind of thing. We're going to do a composting toilet.
Yeah.
And so for $1,500, if I'm doing it 50 a night, it'll pay back pretty quick. And so my goal is to ROI this year. And so we're actually like physically working on it right now.
Oh my gosh. So you're clearing out some area, or you're just getting the spots ready? Like, how many spots are you going to have?
We're going to have two. One of them's going to be inside the barn, and more of like a big rug with a cot on it, that kind of a thing. And then the other one is in like a barn patio, so it's got a roof and dirt floor for somebody to set up a tent, that kind of thing.
So it's kind of like Airbnb and tent being. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Airbnb.
Yeah. I always say Airbnb for tents and RVs.
So how are you going to advertise that?
HipCamp they've got a website just like Airbnb.
HipCamp. Okay. So it's the same process. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the same. And they're very similar to Airbnb. They have insurance and everything. I think $1 million liability insurance that goes with it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
we're going to try. Next question was, are you going to do background checks on everybody that comes?
Yeah. Well, they do some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as robust as Airbnb since they're inside a property, but they do quite a few checks on it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I see, Ryan, I know you're like suburbs, right?
What suburbs?
Are you in the suburbs?
I'm a Dallas suburb. Well, I'm in South Lake, so it's a suburb, but it's, it feels
like you're in a
it's
neighborhood
all,
though.
It's all one. Yeah, I'm in a neighborhood. Yeah, I'm not like out in the country like you.
Okay, I was gonna say they they don't want you doing it in neighborhoods usually. Like they're trying to emphasize the outdoor experience, and so no neighborhoods or usually the HOAs would start fighting you if you threw up a tent in the backyard.
For sure.
Yeah, but I'm gonna, as far as monetizing, I mean, just to throw some stuff out there and maybe you guys get some ideas for your own stuff. I've written a book about scary places in South Carolina. It's a travel book. And so, it's on Amazon all over. And so when people sign up, since I'm emphasizing the horror haunted aspect of this whole place, they're going to get free PDF copies of my book, but hopefully they'll, they may ask me to drive them around to some of these places. I've got, of course, my haunted basement, but I've got some other horror books and stuff that I can kind of bring up with that to help monetize even more than the HipCamp fee.
It'll be an add-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Airbnb actually has a thing called Airbnb experiences, and I'm gonna kind of simulate that here. And so, for an extra $50 a night or whatever, I'll take them out in the woods and scare them half to death.
Well, how many jobs do you have? You do all sorts of things.
I try not to look at it like jobs, but more like just income streams. Because if I start looking at it like a job, it's overwhelming.
Well, do you see
Yep.
what I just gathered from this?
Yeah.
I have 2 income streams.
Oh, I mean,
that up there, they're income streams.
yeah, let's see, I've got the pie stuff here that I do a lot. My dad has a remodeling business. I run all the back end stuff for him. He's got a remodeling, like 30-year-old remodeling business. So I do all his social media and ads, and
Okay.
I've got people that do his books and stuff. I've got my publishing empire, which is kind of like the arm where I publish everything. eBay, Etsy. I mean, a lot of the same stuff you've been into over the years, Ryan. The just tons of different streams. Of course, all the individual little things here in Pi, with crypto and the various investments.
So with eBay, do you have to get stuff out as quickly as it's sold? I mean, do you try to do that in a day or two to get it out to people?
I do. But the little town I'm in, I mean, I'm in town just about every day anyway with kid sports and stuff. So it's easy to package it up. And to be honest with you, I have my kids do a lot of stuff, and that way they're learning early. Yeah. And my UGC videos, those have taken off real good in the past year or so. And so I'm doing more and more of those. And that's pretty much instant money, plus neat products and stuff that I keep.
Yeah. So you have a young lady that you've hired to join you in that, or she's doing editing or something for you? What is her role?
I hired a young girl as a model because sometimes they ask for couples and stuff like that, but she kind of flaked on me a little bit. And so I dropped her, and I'm thinking after trying a couple of those with a model, the money wasn't there for me having to go find her, and also me having to make sure it's safe spiritually, making sure her kids are around, that kind of thing. It wasn't worth the trouble, so I kind of ditched that one. Yeah, so I'm solo again, a solo act,
and still going.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Matter of fact, a company that makes solar lights, like big solar powered floodlights, they contacted me for a video, and they actually wanted me to film the video in my dark, haunted barn. And I said, well, hey, I'll go a little cheaper if you'll send me a few of those floodlights. And so that saved me some money on the HipCamp.
That's awesome.
So a nice trade-off.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you're always.
Yeah, always finding
you're
something.
like this with business, like Chris is with crypto and numbers, or like he is with numbers, period.
I just can't sit still.
I said, you're like an Alexa with numbers. We just say, hey, Chris.
That's awesome.
Yep. So what do you do for work, Holly? What are your jobs?
I work for a construction company, Southeastern Underdeck Systems.
Oh, I know all about those. My dad does those.
He does underdecks?
Yep.
What does he use?
It comes from ABC Supply. I think it's from TimberTech, the one that they produce.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know of TimberTech.
Yeah.
We use aluminum, and he has patented the latches and the flat trim around them. And he ships this all over the United States and Canada. Everybody wants it. Tell your dad to look at it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, DM me and send me a link to you guys. And because I kind of handle that for him too, like looking for new products and stuff.
Awesome. Well, that'll still help him. But yeah, it's a beautiful underdeck system. It changes the ambiance below. And, everybody that we get just says they looked everywhere and that ours looks the best. I mean, he is a one-man, married. So both of them building this company are an $8 million company.
Wow.
In like 14 years. Yeah. So,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they made their own speakers. They produce those. So they use the printer CDs. Is that what they're called? Printer, they'll make them. What are those called?
Like a 3D printer?
3D printer. Thank you. So he has 4 of those running constantly. So we have all kinds of lights and fans and swing mounts and the speakers. And we also have Bluetooth receivers. So he's he's very enterprising. So
Yeah.
he's done a lot of things, and just whatever the customer started asking for, he produced. They warranty it as long as the person lives there.
Yeah.
Everything installed. Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all
Jeff?
I do is I run all the crews.
Yeah. Oh, so you
And
do
I
like the
do-
logistics, the project management kind of thing?
Yeah, but I deal with the customers, the contractors. The contractors will only talk to me, but I've been there for the entire time. So that's the
Yeah.
only reason. So yeah, I do quotes. I work with 4 salespeople. I work with 20 people every day,
Okay.
Wow.
minimum. So I can run into 30 and 40. So I
Yeah.
have minimum 10-hour days. Yeah.
Okay. And
It's
then a
nice.
few hours for this kind of stuff.
Then yes. Yeah, not enough for this. I'm trying to minimize that. You know, everything affects it, weather affects it, and everything's a 911. It's
Oh yeah.
construction.
Anytime a customer calls.
Yeah, it's a 911. So everything, whether the crew needs something, the sales rep needs something, the customer needs something, special needs everywhere. So it keeps me
Yeah.
hopping most of the day. But I pop in, I just put it on Do Not Disturb when I chit chat with you guys.
Okay.
I feel like I'm deserving.
Yeah.
Because this is where I want to go. You know,
Yeah.
I want to slide over. So I am definitely retirement age. So I'm hoping I'll probably get, you know, this is why this interested me. What can I do on the side that funds this? And then start getting social. Put it
Well, I
all
mean,
together.
I always think in terms of taking what you're already doing and making something of it. I mean, if you're doing project management, well, like for instance, my dad's construction company, I republish a lot of the forms and stuff I create for him. And basically, I just take his logo out of it and I publish it and sell it.
That is not me.
Oh,
No, I like working with people, you know, doing
yeah.
that sort of thing. I mean, if I can get this crypto thing down, I'm happy to be a helper. But I've got to get with Chris on a couple of things right now, like with my MetaMask, and I've got some money sitting in Ethereum. I don't even know where it came from.
Ah.
And I don't know if it's mine. If it's somebody else's, I want to get it back to them. I'm like, what? Where did this come from?
Just transfer it out and they won't know.
I talked to Nick about it for, you know, just a second, and he said, well, it wouldn't be the first time somebody put the wrong thing
Yeah.
in, but I got to get with Chris because I can't let the whole thing download, but it shows me money.
Yeah. One digit wrong and it's in your wallet. And
Wow.
there isn't really a way to get it back to somebody if that happened.
Yeah, I'm happy to give it back to him and find you where it came from, but it won't show me that. And I'm sure
Yeah.
Chris or somebody can show me, can say, oh, it's right here, you know, or know how to bring it in. So if it's mine, I want that baby out. And when it runs from $930 to $3,400 because it's
Okay.
Ethereum is fluctuating.
Yeah. And in terms of monetizing, I've got 9 minutes left because I'm very frugal and I do the free Zoom. And
Yes.
so we're on a timer. The timer just popped up, so I'm right at 9 minutes.
9
Jeff,
minutes
what do you
left.
do for a living? I don't think I've ever asked.
Right
You
now,
looked at your wife.
We're both.
we're both, I call it that I'm on sabbatical. We had some events in our life about a year and a half ago, lost some family members, you know, several in a short amount of time. And I'm grateful, thankful, fortunate enough to be in the position. I mean, I can't retire completely, but I've taken about a year off.
Yeah.
And, try to figure out what's next, you know, life. Well, we went away from one of the funerals. My daughter and I'm just going, life's too short. You know, gotta figure out things that, well, both of you guys, I've got one of the magnets of Dan Miller's, you know, do what makes your heart sing.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to find out what makes it sing more.
Well, you're going to
Good for
have plenty
you.
of time on this run to think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe that's what makes your heart sing.
Oh, it does. I love, there's just nothing. I mean, nothing to me, the running, just whatever the solitude, yeah.
I was a
And-
jogger and it was
I'm-
my passion too. I just physically can't do it anymore and I miss it so much. But I would just get up and go, you know, it was just
Oh, wow.
amazing.
Yeah,
Just made me feel, I just felt so good. It was something I did for myself. It's something that fed my soul.
yeah.
Jeff,
And-
real quick idea I had. I'm thinking through about your run. Like, I'd also potentially have your person, whoever can see if it's. I'd love for this not to be you, to track down all these ideas, even the ones you feel like are worth it. But is find the local high schools that you're going to be going by, because they have cross country teams or track teams. They may think it's cool and they might run with you, and then because if my kid now is running with you, that's, well, why is he doing that? Oh, I may donate to the cause because my kid's now involved. And maybe, I don't know, just it would be fun to have, the more people you have run with you, the better. And find the people that are already runners. Maybe there's local running clubs in some of these larger towns, maybe, that you go through, and let them know you're doing this, and maybe they'll join you. But I think
Yeah.
kids there's got to be some kids
They're
that think
on.
this is a cool thing, and maybe would even go out and raise their own money. Like, my son's in kindergarten right now, and they just had a program for the American Heart Association, and now he wants us to donate to the American Heart Association so that he can get this keychain. And so now he's 6, but find the teenagers that are already runners. They may
Yeah.
go out and get their own sponsors for your cause and run with you for a mile or 10 miles or whatever.
No, that's a great idea. And that was part of the conversation. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are, but I'm really not going to be in any larger towns until I get to the eastern part. And then
Okay.
I'll be going through Manhattan and Lawrence, both
Okay.
Kansas State and the
Are there any
University.
small high schools along the way, even
Oh,
if they're
yeah.
not right close to 24? I mean, within a few miles drive of 24?
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of small schools.
Okay.
But
Mm.
I mean, even if they don't run with you, they could come out in front of the school when you're going by.
Yeah.
Cheer
Or
you
even make it,
on.
if they're close, make a lap around their track as you.
There you go.
oh, I love that, because one of my running partners, I'm going to tell him about it. One of my running partners was my kid's coach, and we
Mhm.
still run together of a group. And
Uh-huh.
in summers, that's what he would make cross country practice. They would run to the other schools in our school district and run. I can't remember if it was a lap or a mile around the
Yeah.
track.
There you go. It
just
might be a
to be
little bit of a
like-
detour for you, but who knows? Some of these towns could really get into it. They could have people in the stands cheering you on at the track. I mean, I don't know. It depends on how excited they get about it. Just got to find that right person in each town that really would care, and
Yeah.
they help you, play this up.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
the whole idea. Yeah, his was
Jeff,
more.
I'm looking at your page right now. Is there a function where you could actually I don't know, do like a really customized donation? Like, for instance, Run with Jeff, donate $5 a mile. Or hey, if you're not as good and you want to bike with Jeff, that's $10 a mile. You got to pay more to bike with Jeff.
I like
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I could be there, that's what I would do. I wouldn't mind biking beside you while you're running, but I wouldn't make it very far running with you, and we certainly wouldn't be able to talk.
That's right. I hear you. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Yeah. So I like that idea, but so how would you do? I'm not wanting. I don't mean this. It's a function of lazy, or I shouldn't say lazy more than anything else, but just I've been really strong about making sure I'm not handling any of the money.
Yeah.
It's going straight to,
Mm.
you believe whatever you believe in the most, Dr. Powers, that your money doesn't come to me and then, oh, by the way, then I send it ALS. It's, you know what I mean? The money.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I didn't know if within the fundraising page, if you had any option to customize it at all.
I'll ask because my contact through my fraternity, I'm supposed to have a call with her later this morning. and I will ask, because
Yeah.
that would be a great way to
You may be the first one to ask, and now they'll do it.
get some add-on.
Yeah.
Get some add-on.
Definitely.
Or if it came down to it, you could always maybe have a third party, like the church secretary at your church or something, whoever handles your church money, that kind of thing. If it's a small church. At a big church, you probably wouldn't have much luck with that, but
Yeah. No, it's a larger church.
But with all this, you might even want to see if you could get, by way of donations, people just volunteering to help. Like, hey, if you can't give money, maybe you could handle this aspect for me, because I've done long distance bike rides for the Leukemia Society, and the last thing I wanted to do while I was biking was touching any of this stuff. I didn't. Yeah, I just wanted to stay alive. That's all I wanted to do.
No, I got you. The only other, and I'm working through putting it out. The only other piece is we're asking, and they've been through it through my fraternity, but I'm needing to reach out further. If you know anyone that might be able to donate an RV for that time period, Live Like Lou's, they're willing to do a donation in kind.
Oh. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know anybody that has an RV, or man, you might be able to find somebody with connections, like at an RV place or something, that could use that for their own marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool though. I mean, the donation in kind for that would be pretty decent.
Yeah. And I figure, that's the reason I'm asking, is because, the Kevin Bacon thing, 3 people away from you, a guy, somebody that knows somebody's uncle has got an RV that they use like 4 times a year, and they're like, well, here, I can.
Yeah.
Somebody ought to get some use out of it.
Oh yeah. Well, my timer just hit to I'm less than a minute. It's not even showing seconds now. So I'll go ahead and start wrapping up. I didn't mention it this time. I'll mention it first next time, but I'm gonna record these and repost them. So I won't repost this one since I didn't say that, and just in case y'all said something you don't want out there. But I'll record the future ones. Jeff, I recorded it, so I'll send it to you if you need it for the ideas.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I won't
yeah.
post it public.
I'm okay with it unless you thought there was.
Holly, are you okay?
Sure.
Okay, I'll repost it then. And I'm going to vary the times with these too. And so we get more different. So we get other people. I'll do some evening ones and different days too. It won't be the same day, same time every time.
No, that'd
Sounds
be
good.
All right. So with that said, we'll go ahead and close out.
Thanks, everybody.